Keiran Behan, how are you?
I'm good, Walter. How are you?
Very good, busy day, as you can imagine.
Yes, yeah, busy day for both of us. You just come off a plane, and I've just been in a 9-hour board meeting. So, yeah, good to have you here, though.
Yeah, great. Who got fired?
No one. It's a very good board meeting.
All good,
Yeah,
all good news.
news. All good news. Yeah.
Okay, great stuff. For anybody who's not aware, we did a long podcast on Keiran's background and journey to this point. But what's your current role over here?
So my current role is I'm MD of North America for Phaidon International. So I look after all of our operations across the US, which currently is just over 320 people across 6 different offices and 5 different brands.
He's not lying about the amount of people that've just been out in the office, and I was a bit taken back.
Yeah, there's a lot of us these days, and I think we've kind of run out of space already in New York. So we've got a new 8th floor office coming in a couple of months, which will be room for about 350 people. So yeah. Growth is on the table for us.
There's a nice smart casual vibe out there. I remember when I was working for a large recruitment firm, we were suited and booted and it was quite stuffy. I didn't get that vibe at all.
No, I think we're sort of professionally relaxed here.
It's a good way.
For us, I think it's really making sure that the work we do is of high quality and making sure that the guys who come here look professional but also feel comfortable. If you're going out to meet certain clients in certain industries, you put the suit on and you look the right way. But I think more and more these days, people are pretty relaxed about, sort of dress codes and etiquette, and they're far more interested in the result you produce and the service you deliver. So that's kind of the balance we try and strike there.
How long have you lived in the US, man?
So 3.5 years now.
3.5 years. Yeah. Give us a little backdrop into how that move came about.
So we were doing very well. We were expanding in a number of different geographies. But the US was starting to become clearly a huge market for us. Harry Utan, who was the director of North America at the time, was basically doing so well that he needed some help to kind of scale it. So it was kind of made to a decision that I'd come out and I'd kind of help him put a plan together around sort of the practical elements of how we're going to scale from what at the time was basically one office New York into where we got to today. So it was a business need. It was an interesting opportunity. I wasn't totally sure whether New York and America would be for me and for my wife, so kind of went with not too much hope on, I guess, the US, but a lot of hope around the business, and it's gone extremely well on the business front. But I think also in terms of our lifestyle here, the culture in New York, the culture of America in general, it's been a massive plus, and best decision I think we've ever made. So.
Oh wow! When you came here, how many people were in the office?
So we originally started with about 8 people back in 2013, and when I came across, we were about sort of just under 50 or so.
Okay, and you're at 300?
320-ish at the moment. Yeah.
320-ish?
Yeah.
How many reporting lines do you have within that?
Probably too many, but I'm going to say the right answer is sort of 6 to 10.
Okay, all right.
No, we're a growth business, but my main kind of reports are the heads of operations and the heads of each office we have. So, yeah.
And I see you're out there in the thick of it. You don't have your own. You're not secluded away in your own little empire?
No, I mean, I'm out. I do have my own little office around the corner. Yeah. But again, we're kind of running out of space. I'll spend time sitting on different desks. But yeah, we're very much a business where everyone is involved in everything that's going on.
Yeah. Let me ask you a couple of questions about the New York market.
Sure.
What verticals are exciting you out there at the moment? Like, what are you seeing in the marketplace that makes you go, we're in the right place, and because of that, we're going to go after this specific area?
Okay, I mean,
if it's New York specific.
Yeah, I can answer. What can I say to that? Look, I think firstly is that the US economy overall is in very good shape. A number of US businesses are on the edge of innovation around the industries they're in. Where I see the biggest opportunities, again, working with probably the medium-sized companies that have just secured funding that are in innovative industries that are, I guess, disrupting what they're doing. But you see that across life sciences, you see it across medical devices, you see it across information security and information technology. They're probably the markets where I'd sit and think, compared to other markets in the world that I know, they're far more advanced. The talent is definitely here, and I think the buying appetite from clients is here.
Yeah, and is it that upper end that you're going after in terms of the client skill or the candidate skill level?
Yeah, so we tend to focus on, I guess, technical, managerial, right through to senior leader. We don't tend to go up to board level. There's other companies, the sort of Shrek companies that tend to specialize in that, but our sweet spot is that sort of senior leadership, functional leadership range. But the market here is good across the board. I think if you have the right focus on the niches you do, the right delivery model, you'll be able to service the market you're looking for.
So, as far as I know, there's been 2 major exits. Yourselves are one in terms of selling your business after going to the US, and the Frank Group are another. You both managed to scale. How have you managed to do that when everybody else is struggling to integrate Americans and the American style? And what sets you guys apart?
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be kind of careful with my answer.
It's a loaded question, I appreciate it.
But I mean, I think, advice I could give to people is firstly, you have to want to scale. I know that might sound obvious, but it's great sitting there and going, let's be 1,000 people. Sure. But there's a lot of steps you have to take every day that you have to totally believe in that will get you there. And I think a lot of companies will half put their foot down on the idea of growth. Yeah. And as soon as they hit a road bump or some sort of block, they go, well, let's go back to what we know. And I think if you're going to take that approach, you're highly unlikely to get to where you want to get to. So first, you've got to understand, are you built for scale? Do you really want to scale? If you do, then you've got to know it's not going to work perfectly every single week and every single month. Yeah. But if you're committed to doing it, that will help. I think the second thing that we've done really well and we absolutely want to promote as we grow is being an American business. Yes, yeah. we're a British company by origin. A lot of the original management team that came were from the UK, but more and more these days, the senior leadership, upcoming leadership in the business is American. And again, that's a challenge. People do operate differently. There is different cultures. There's, I guess, different expectations. But we try to be adaptable and work with that, as opposed to go, well, that's not how it works in the UK. So why don't you do it our way? Because I think whether it's the US, Asia, wherever you're going to expand, that's a pretty limited view to take, basically.
Anything you could pinpoint on what that is? Like, is there any little nuances?
I mean, I think just probably just the way you treat people. I think the UK can be a bit bruising at times in terms of direct honesty and sarcasm and cynicism and things like that. I think that's not as useful. I think you've got to make sure people understand your vision, they feel included on the journey, they feel respected in the work they're doing, and I think just be true to who you are. I think that's what people are looking for. A company that they can trust and believe in. I think a lot of the time the problem you have is it's a lot of remote management. If your senior leadership stays in the UK and you're trying to grow remotely, that is hard. I think, if you're going to come, you've probably got to look at how much you're willing to commit in terms of your own personal time to come to the country you want to grow.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, all of it would probably be the ideal answer, but it's not an easy thing to do.
You've made the transition yourself. You've brought over people from the UK in the past. What type of advice would you have for somebody who's in London and quite successful in London, and then they want to come to America? Is there any advice that you give them?
Well, I think firstly you've got to think about why you want to come. It is an amazing country, and if you want to come to experience it and enjoy it and soak it all in, great. But I think know that will probably define the sort of job and career that you should go after. Yeah. A company like ours, which is high growth, performance based, and looking to dominate the market, I'm looking for someone who really wants to build a career here and understands that it's going to be a lot of adapting to our model and our process, but also a lot of bringing their ambition to not just succeed, but go beyond what they expect. I think America is a place where you can set loftier goals and bigger ambitions for yourself, but you've also got to work doubly hard to make sure you achieve on those. So I think before you get on that plane and think, if I turn up, it's all going to be easy. It's not. You'll be in America, you might enjoy it, but getting the most out of your career, I think you've really got to make sure you know what market you want to target, why you're interested in that market. You are absolutely committed to working hard and improving yourself as a recruiter, and then you've got a chance.
Is there anything that when you bring people over, straight away that they're going to have to adapt? Is there, from a recruitment standpoint?
I mean, not hugely. I mean, I think the biggest thing here is that you can be very consultative with clients. I think, sometimes in Europe, the perception of the recruitment industry is not fantastic amongst clients. It's a bit transactional.
It's very saturated.
It can still be that here, but I think if you are genuinely an expert in your market, if you can genuinely offer quality service and quality advice and actually execute on what you promise, you can really build up a strong client base here that is going to come back to you and also spread the word. But again, everyone will say, I can do that. I think you've actually got to know that you can back that up in terms of your delivery as well.
Yeah. If you could go back to the start of your journey in America, is there anything you would do differently or faster? It's obviously been really successful, so there's probably not a lot.
Differently, no. I think it's been great. I think, I probably would have come sooner in my career if I'd have known how much we'd have enjoyed it on a personal level and a professional level. But also, I mean, I think in terms of our growth, I think we are pretty hyper growth anyway. But yeah, we would always love to be doing more. And I think even going back to the history of Phaidon, we probably should have come to America 3 or 4 years before we did. So yeah, it's been fantastic, but we should have really done it sooner.
Yeah, and just you're probably a bit removed from this to ask you this, but when people go through the hiring process to join Phaidon, what type of results and background do they need if they're in the UK and looking to come out here?
Pretty tough. We don't hire that many experienced recruiters. We are principally a grad-driven model in terms of how we grow, but it is good to augment it with a couple of really skilled people. So, what we tend to look for is someone who has a genuine knowledge in the market that we operate. I'd be looking to bring someone in who actually is a market expert, who can both train internally and externally our clients on the nuances of it. I'm also looking for someone who actually has been successful consistently. One video, great. I'm looking for 2, 3, 4 in a row. And again, I'm looking for multiple placements with multiple clients. I think that's what we would be able to help mold into a really successful recruiter here. So yeah, I'm looking for proven track record, consistency, understanding of the market you want to operate in, and I think finding, to my point before, like a very, very clear understanding of what your motivation is beyond America seems good.
Yeah.
Do
you get a lot of that?
I think you get a lot of people who...
I do.
They say it sounds interesting, they'd love to try, they hear great things. Again, I think for me, we can invest a lot of time in people. We're an amazing platform, an amazing company. I want to know that you've really, really thought this through, both in terms of your own reasons, but what you think you can bring to Phaidon as well.
Yeah. A couple of lifestyle questions for you.
Sure. I lead a boring life, but I'll do my best.
Not as boring as mine. And you don't really, let's be honest. This is all right. What do you love most about living in New York?
For me, I would say it's the sheer convenience of it. So I live in Midtown. If I get out of my house, 20-minute cab ride in any direction is everything you want to do in New York, every restaurant you want to go to, every site you want to see. Yeah. I think deep down, I'm a man who likes convenience. So yeah, the fact that you can do that, every food delivery app is here. Yeah, you kind of want for nothing at any time of the day. And I get up, come out of the house at 6 a.m. to walk the dog and then go to work. You can feel the energy. When you're walking home at 7:30, you feel the same energy. That's just something special for me that I don't think you get anywhere else.
What do you miss about life back home?
I'll say my mother, just in case she
tunes in.
Watching. But no,
she's liking it right now.
Yeah,
I had to warn my mother to stop liking my stuff on LinkedIn. It's like I'm really losing credibility.
No, she'll like anything. She's fantastic. Yeah. She's a good social media fan. But look, I think you occasionally miss family, friends, but being totally honest, after a 3-month adjustment period here, I think my wife and I have never looked back. It's a place that works well for us as a couple. We enjoy it. I love the people I work with. I love the city we live in. So, yeah, honestly, nothing really. Yeah.
Any pet peeves? Anything you'd change about New York?
Anything I'd change about New York? I mean, it can be a little bit dirty at times. Again, I walk the dog at 6 in the morning and you'll see some interesting things all around the pavement strewn about. But that's part of big city life. And they've just added a congestion charge to taxi fares, which is another $3 on top of what you pay. But these are pretty small problems, I think, in the grand scheme of things.
So you've launched a few other offices.
Yes.
Where do you see the main growth in America coming for you guys over the next period of time?
Really across the US, which is why we've launched the 6 offices we have. So we've kind of approached it from a regional strategy where we have office hubs covering major parts of the US. Yeah. It's our firm belief that we can go to 100, 150, 200 consultants in each of those hubs. Wow. New York is obviously the largest and most further along in that growth kind of cycle, but we've got a number of offices passing 50 plus people this year. Charlotte, our newest office, is already at 15. So yeah, we've opened them because we believe they can all become pretty mega hubs. It's not just a kind of flag planting exercise of why don't we open there, that sounds pretty good. So really, we want to be, the premium recruiter in North America for the markets we cover. We want to be regarded to number 1, 2, or 3 in terms of our delivery, our market knowledge, and everything. And I think the way we do that is to firstly provide national coverage to our clients and candidates.
So we all know that the streets are paved with gold in New York, and after a week of being here, money will be falling out of your pockets because you've made so much. That's not really true, is it?
It's not quite that easy, no. I think people need to be prepared that you're probably looking at a 2 to 3 year window to really see the benefit of any international move. Your first 2-3 months are going to be hopefully good on the work front, and you might make some progress, but you are assimilating, you're settling in, you're adjusting to life, everything like this. Really, at the end of the first year, you should start to see some momentum. You build up your client base, you build up your candidate base, you're making multiple placements, you're then starting to take control of the market you operate in. It's really years 2 and 3 where you're really going to start to reap the benefits. So again, that comes down to being motivated as well. It's like, sure. I want to come for a year. You're probably not going to get much out of that, and also that's a very short-term attitude. I think you've got to look at 3 to 5 years is probably an appropriate window to go. If I am going to relocate, that's how long it's going to take for me to really achieve my goals and get the true value from it, and then what I want to do next. Basically.
So you've got 300 odd people.
Yes.
A lot of experience of hiring recruiters. If I could take you back in time, let's say you were looking for that job in America, you had a few options to have a look at, because the best people do, right?
Yeah.
What type of advice would you give yourself in terms of questions you'd ask yourself to ask those companies? So,
yeah, I mean, I think firstly is really digging deep into what this company is and what they do. I think again, how long have they been in the US? What's their growth strategy? What markets do they cover? Why do they cover those markets? Who's the leadership team? Where did they come from? These are all questions where if you're going to make a move to another country, to a new company, I'd want to be sure that I was absolutely crystal clear as to their commitment to this country I was moving to, because I don't want to come with all my ambition and then they turn around and say, well, we were already playing around with it. We didn't take it that seriously. So do your research on the team, do your research on the company, do your research on the market and their commitment to it. I think the other thing as well is, what is it you want out of it? Do you want a job? Do you want a career? What do you want to learn as well? Because I think, it's very easy in recruitment to just be a recruitment consultant and make placements and get better at that over time. What we try and do at Phaidon is offer people a career. So if you want to move into market specialism, if you want to move into L&D, if you want to move into management and leadership, we try and work with you and give you those skills over time. If that's interesting to you, join a company like ours. If you just want to sit in a corner and work from home and not speak to anyone and make some placements, probably work for a company where that's the model they're looking for. So I think, I would be always looking for a firm that could grow and develop me, but you make sure you join a firm that lines up with your ambitions, because otherwise it's just going to be a frustrating move.
Keiran Behan.
Yeah, very nice to meet you. I'll have a good rest of your trip.
Thank you.
Thank you.